The rain pounded against the window of my cramped New York apartment like it was trying to break in, mirroring the storm raging inside me. It was past midnight when I heard the soft knock on my door, and there he was, Max, my best friend, the straight guy with the perfect girlfriend, soaked to the bone and shivering. Without a word, he stepped inside, peeled off his wet jacket, and climbed into my bed, pulling me close as if it was the most natural thing in the world. I'd known Max since our freshman year at NYU, back when we were both wide-eyed kids from small towns chasing big dreams in the city. He was from a conservative family in Texas, the kind where football games and church picnics defined life, and he'd always presented himself as the epitome of straight masculinity, broad shoulders, easy charm, and a string of casual girlfriends. Me? I was Alex, the openly gay guy from California, navigating the world with a mix of defiance and vulnerability, always careful not to let my feelings for straight friends complicate things. But with Max, it was different from the start. We bonded over late-night study sessions in the library, sharing secrets about our fears and ambitions. He wanted to be a lawyer, fighting for justice in a system he saw as broken. I was pursuing journalism, hoping to tell stories that mattered. Our friendship felt effortless, like we'd known each other forever. That first night he showed up unannounced wasn't the beginning, though it was the escalation. A few weeks earlier, we'd been at a party in Brooklyn, the kind where cheap beer flowed and music drowned out conversations. Max had brought his girlfriend, Sarah, a bubbly marketing major with a laugh that could light up a room. They seemed perfect together, holding hands and whispering inside jokes. I was there with a date, some guy from my lit class, but my eyes kept drifting to Max. Later, as the night wound down, Sarah had gone home early with a headache, and Max and I ended up crashing on a friend's couch. In the dim light, he turned to me and said, "Alex, you're the only one who gets me." His hand brushed mine, and for a split second, the air thickened with unspoken tension. I pulled away, laughing it off, but it planted a seed of hope and fear in my chest. The next morning, everything was back to normal. Max texted Sarah good morning, and we grabbed coffee like nothing happened. But cracks started appearing in his facade. He'd complain about arguments with Sarah, how she wanted more commitment, how he felt trapped by expectations. "My parents love her," he'd say, running a hand through his messy brown hair. "They think she's the one who's gonna give them grandkids." I'd nod, offering advice as the supportive friend, all while my heart ached. Being gay in America wasn't easy, even in progressive New York. There were still stares, whispers, and the occasional outright hostility. But for Max, questioning his sexuality would mean dismantling his entire world. His family's approval, his social circle, his self-image. One evening, we were walking through Central Park after a long day of classes. The leaves were turning autumn gold, and the air was crisp. Max stopped suddenly, staring at a group of friends laughing on a bench. "Do you ever feel like you're living someone else's life?" he asked, his blue eyes searching mine. I hesitated, then told him about my coming-out story, how my parents had initially struggled but eventually accepted me, how it freed me to be authentic. He listened intently, then admitted, "I've been having these thoughts, Alex, about you." My pulse raced, but I played it cool. "That's okay, man. It's your journey." But inside I was terrified. What if this was just confusion? What if he regretted it and our friendship imploded? That confession led to more late-night talks, stolen moments where boundaries blurred. He'd crash at my place after fights with Sarah, and we'd talk until dawn. Society's pressures weighed heavy. His fraternity brothers ribbed him about settling down. His parents called weekly to ask about wedding plans. Max was torn between the life scripted for him and the pull toward something real with me. I urged him to be honest with himself, but he resisted, fearing rejection. "What if I'm wrong?" he'd whisper. "What if I lose everything?" As weeks turned to months, the tension built. Sarah sensed something was off. She'd text me asking if Max was okay, her messages laced with worry. I felt guilty, like I was the villain in their story, but I couldn't deny my feelings. One night, after a heated argument with her, Max showed up again. This time, he didn't just climb into bed. He held me, his breath warm against my neck. "I think I'm falling for you," he murmured. My world tilted. But morning brought regret. He bolted, apologizing profusely. The cycle repeated, each time chipping away at my resolve. The secrecy gnawed at me, turning our connection into a minefield of emotions. Max's internal conflict spilled over into our daily lives. At school, he'd act distant in public, laughing too loudly at homophobic jokes from his buddies to blend in. It stung, but I understood the fear of being outed in a world that still judged harshly. In private, though, he was tender, sharing dreams of a future where he didn't have to hide. "Imagine us traveling, Alex," he'd say, his fingers tracing patterns on my arm. No judgments, just us. Those moments were intoxicating, but they came at a cost. Sarah confronted me one afternoon in a coffee shop near campus. Her eyes were red-rimmed, her usual cheer replaced by suspicion. "What's going on with Max? He's been weird, and you're always around." I swallowed hard, feigning ignorance. "Just guy stuff, you know?" But she wasn't buying it. "I see how he looks at you. Are you?" She trailed off, the implication hanging heavy. I denied it, hating the lie but protecting Max. That encounter sparked a firestorm. Sarah broke up with him that night, accusing him of emotional infidelity. Max was devastated, blaming himself. And me. "This is my fault," he said, pacing my apartment. "I should have ended it sooner." His family got involved next. His mom called, worried about the breakup. "Sarah was so good for you, honey. What happened?" Max dodged, but the pressure mounted. He started pulling away, skipping our hangouts to figure things out. I felt abandoned, questioning if our connection was real or just his rebellion against norms. Society's expectations loomed large. The ideal of the nuclear family, the stigma against queer relationships in certain circles. Max's Texas roots clashed with New York's openness, creating a cultural rift he couldn't bridge easily. One weekend, he invited me to a family barbecue via video call, his attempt at normalcy. But during the call, his dad made an offhand remark about those liberals pushing the gay agenda. Max laughed along, but his eyes betrayed discomfort. Later, he confessed, "I can't tell them, Alex. They'd disown me." My heart broke for him, but resentment built. Why was I always the secret? I pushed back. "You can't live half a life. It's not fair to either of us." Our arguments escalated, raw with emotion. He'd storm out, only to return apologetic, the push-pull exhausting us both. Amid the turmoil, support came from unexpected places. My roommate, Jamie, a trans activist, noticed my distress. "Love shouldn't make you hide," they said over pizza one night. Their words echoed, urging me to demand more. Max's fraternity brother, Mike, a surprisingly progressive guy, caught wind of the rumors and confronted Max. "Dude, if you're gay or bi, own it. We're in 2026, not the Stone Age." That conversation shook Max, planting seeds of courage. But courage came with backlash. When Max finally admitted his feelings to a close friend, word spread. Whispers turned to outright confrontations. One night at a bar, a drunk acquaintance sneered, "So you're switching teams now? What about Sarah?" Max froze, but I stepped in. "Mind your business." The incident highlighted the societal scrutiny queer people face, even in tolerant spaces. Max grappled with identity labels: straight, bi, gay. "I don't know what I am," he'd cry. "I just know I care about you." Our relationship deepened in stolen moments. A quiet picnic in Washington Square Park, where he held my hand briefly, ignoring stares. A movie night where he leaned on my shoulder, vulnerability shining through. But doubts lingered. Was this love or experimentation? Max's confusion led to a painful ultimatum. "I need space." I agreed, heartbroken, watching him retreat into isolation. The space Max requested stretched into weeks of silence, each day a reminder of the void he left. I threw myself into work, interning at a local news outlet covering LGBTQ rights stories, reporting on discrimination cases, couples denied services, youth facing homelessness. mirrored my own struggles, fueling my resolve. But at night, memories haunted me. His laugh, his touch, the way he made me feel seen. Max resurfaced unexpectedly at a campus pride event. I was volunteering, handing out flyers, when I spotted him in the crowd, looking lost amid the rainbow flags. He approached hesitantly. "I missed you," he said simply. We talked for hours, walking the streets of Greenwich Village, where queer history pulsed in every corner. He opened up about therapy sessions he'd started, unpacking years of repressed feelings. "My whole life I was taught to be a certain way. Man up, find a wife, have kids. But that's not me." Tears welled in his eyes. "I'm scared, but I want to try with you." Reconciliation wasn't easy. Trust had been eroded by his indecision. We set boundaries. No more hiding, honest communication. But society didn't make it simple. His parents visited for Thanksgiving, expecting to meet Sarah. Max chickened out on coming out, introducing me as just a friend. The dinner was tense, his mom's pointed questions about future plans hanging like a guillotine. Later, he apologized, but the hurt lingered. "How long until you're ready?" I asked. His silence spoke volumes. Conflicts arose from external pressures too. At work, Max faced subtle discrimination after rumors reached his internship at a law firm. A senior partner made snide comments about diversity hires, implying his potential queerness was a liability. It fueled his anger, pushing him toward activism. We attended protests together, chanting for equality, our hands linked in solidarity. Those moments bonded us, but also exposed us to hate. Online trolls targeted him after a photo surfaced, calling him a traitor to straight culture. The vitriol was a stark reminder of America's divided landscape. Progress in some states, regression in others. Sarah re-entered the picture, complicating things further. She messaged Max, wanting closure. They met for coffee, and he confessed everything. To my surprise, she was supportive. "I always suspected," she said later when we all talked. "Just be happy." Her grace eased some guilt, but it highlighted the collateral damage of his denial. Max's family dynamics shifted too. His sister, more open-minded, figured it out and offered quiet encouragement. "Dad will come around," she whispered during a call. As winter set in, our relationship evolved. We shared holidays quietly, Christmas lights in my apartment, exchanging meaningful gifts. Max gave me a journal inscribed with, "For our story." I gave him a bracelet with a subtle pride symbol. Intimacy grew emotionally, built on trust rather than impulse. But doubts crept in during quiet moments. Was he truly committed, or would societal norms pull him back? A major turning point came during a heated debate at a friend's gathering. Topics turned to marriage equality, and one guest argued against it, citing traditional values. Max, usually reserved, exploded. Tradition shouldn't dictate love. His passion surprised everyone, including me. It was his first public defense of our world, a step toward acceptance. Emboldened by that night, Max decided to come out to his parents. We planned it carefully over a video call to soften the blow. His hands shook as he spoke. "Mom, Dad, I'm gay, and I'm with Alex." Silence followed, then his dad's gruff voice. "This is a phase. You've been influenced by that city." His mom cried, mixing concern with love. "We just want you happy, but it's hard." The call ended abruptly, leaving Max shattered. "They hate me," he sobbed in my arms. The fallout was brutal. His parents cut off financial support, forcing him to take extra shifts at a cafe. Family group chats went silent, holidays loomed lonely. It tested our bond. Max's resentment toward his upbringing sometimes spilled onto me. "Why couldn't I be normal?" he'd mutter. I reminded him normality was a myth, sharing stories of resilient queer couples I'd interviewed. But the strain showed. Arguments flared over small things, masks for deeper fears. Society's broader conflicts amplified our personal ones. News cycles buzzed with anti-LGBTQ legislation in states like Texas, where Max's family lived. Bills targeting trans rights, book bans on queer themes, it all hit close. Max channeled his pain into volunteering at a youth center, mentoring kids facing similar struggles. Seeing him empower others healed parts of him and us. "This is bigger than us," he'd say, renewed purpose in his eyes. A controversial twist came when an old high school friend visited. Jake, a staunch conservative, confronted Max about the lifestyle choice. Their debate turned ugly, Jake spewing outdated myths about conversion therapy. Max stood firm. "It's not a choice. It's who I am." Jake left in a huff, but the encounter sparked online drama when he posted veiled rants. Supporters rallied around Max, but haters piled on, doxing attempts forcing us to privatize social media. Through it all, our love deepened amid the chaos. A weekend getaway to the Catskills offered respite, hiking trails, cozy fires, honest talks. "I choose you every day," Max vowed under starlit skies. But choices had consequences. His law firm internship ended prematurely, citing fit issues, code for discrimination. It crushed his dreams, leading to a dark period of doubt. Maybe they're right. Maybe I'm ruining my life. I supported him through job hunts, resume tweaks, pep talks. A breakthrough came with an offer from a progressive nonprofit advocating for LGBTQ rights. "This is where I belong," he beamed, acceptance blooming. But family reconciliation remained elusive. His mom reached out sporadically, tentative bridges built on love. His dad? Radio silence. As spring approached, a major conflict arose. A family wedding in Texas. Max was invited, but without me. "Come as a friend," his sister suggested. He refused. "If Alex isn't welcome, neither am I." The decision isolated him further, but solidified our partnership. Society's debates raged on. Supreme Court cases, pride parades clashing with protests. But we navigated together, stronger for the trials. With the wedding boycotted, Max focused on building our life in New York. We moved in together, a small step symbolizing commitment. Mornings started with coffee and kisses, evenings with shared dreams. But scars from the past lingered. Max's therapy continued, unpacking trauma from a repressive upbringing. "I was taught love had conditions," he'd reflect. "Mine helped me process the emotional toll of being his secret initially. External validation came slowly. At a pride march, Max held a sign, 'Love wins.' Cameras captured us, the image going viral in positive circles. His sister shared it with their mom, sparking a tentative thaw. "She wants to meet you," Max announced one day, hope flickering. The visit was awkward, hugs stiff, conversations careful, but progress. His dad remained absent, a painful void. Controversies didn't cease. A workplace incident at my job involved a colleague's homophobic slur, leading to HR involvement. Max stood by me, his legal mind sharp in advocacy. It highlighted ongoing societal battles. Equality laws uneven, hate crimes rising in some areas. Our story became a microcosm, inspiring friends to examine their biases. As summer bloomed, Max proposed a trip to California, meeting my family. They welcomed him warmly, a contrast to his experience. "This is what family should be," he said, tears in his eyes. The journey home solidified his resolve to forge ahead, even if it meant chosen family over blood. In quiet moments, we'd debate the ethics of our beginning, the overlap with Sarah, the deception. "Was it wrong?" I'd ask. Max pondered. "Love isn't tidy, but we grew from it. Our bond, forged in fire, felt unbreakable." Years later, reflecting on that rainy night he first climbed into my bed, I wonder, can true love emerge from confusion and societal pressure, or does it always carry the weight of its controversial origins? Is it right to pursue happiness at the potential cost of others' pain?